Well, we got a great contest coming up with Fresno State. It's kind of like our series with Boise. It seems like every time we play Fresno State, it comes down to the wire, and 5 of the last 6 meetings have been decided by 3 points or less, or decided in overtime, including the second league game of the year way back in early December. So they're a young team, but they're a very dynamic team. They can score inside with Orlando Robinson and Nate Grimes, and then of course their guards can really get going and score in bunches. We saw firsthand what New Williams can do at our place when he gets hot and he can get it going. Nevin Hart is a guy that I believe only played 4 minutes against us the first time around, but 3 games ago against Colorado State at home, he had 28 or 29, including I think 24 in the second half. And then their last game on Wednesday night, he has 30. So he's obviously injected some life into them from that respect. And then this time of year, you always expect seniors to play well, and Noah Blackwell is playing very, very well as well. And so they are a team that can really get it going in runs and in spurts, and they can put a 9-0 run on you on the snap of a finger. They really thrive in transition, and then they're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league. I believe they're number 2 in our conference in offensive rebounding, and they had 19 offensive rebounds the other night against San Jose on Wednesday. 21 offensive rebounds that night. So owning the glass and winning the glass is going to be a huge key. We've got to be able to stop them in transition defense. And then I thought one of the biggest takeaways against Colorado State is we only had 8 turnovers that game, and they do a good job of forcing turnovers, as does Fresno State. So those will be big keys to the game.
It's so long ago, though. I mean, usually in conference, you might go 5 weeks to play somebody, but this is. I mean, are they still the same? Would you put the same scouting report together of what you played 2 weeks ago?
No, they're different, and you expect that. Like it was just crazy watching our game against them the other day. How different we are, personnel-wise. First of all, because that was Nimi's first game back, and of course he was limited to 10 minutes, and he basically played 2 5-minute stretches. But you just look at him, and he's a whole nother player. But we're just a different team. But they're a different team too. You know, they got a lot of. I mean, they have 3 veteran guys. You know, in Grimes and Blackwell and Noah Williams, and those guys play a ton of minutes for them and do so many different things. And then they have a lot of freshmen that they've really thrown in the lineup. And like you would expect, a lot of those guys have played a ton of minutes, so those guys aren't really freshmen anymore. Whereas the first time around, you kind of felt at times they were more freshmen. Where now they're kind of settled in, they understand the game, and are playing a lot more solid that way. So they've won 3 of the last 5. But it was different watching that, and then even showing the film to our guys. It was kind of like, wow, this has been a long time ago.
This stretch, I mean, every game, got to take every game one at a time, and every game's important. But now you face a stretch now where teams are below you, not above you, and you can really etch yourself into that number 2 spot.
We've done a great job of getting back in the game, so to speak. You know, winning I think 6 of our last 7, and with the 1 loss at San Diego State. And it was a big week last week, obviously, but what you did yesterday is a big deal. You haven't done much today, and so it's just on to the next. And we're playing to be the best team that we can possibly be at the end of the year. And I like the climb, so to speak, and you can see improvements from week to week, and even game to game. I feel like we're making some improvements. So this will be another good test on the road. You know, in league play, we're 3-4 on the road, and that's not where we want to be, under 500. And so we have a great opportunity down the stretch here to be a team that can finish the regular season above 500 on the road. And when you look at the league, besides San Diego State, I don't know how many teams are going to be able to say that, and quite possibly the team that is able to say that will probably finish the highest in the regular season.
What kind of player is this Nevin Hart then to get his points? I mean, he made some threes,
yeah,
but he also looks like he drives, or must be that.
He's an explosive player. Like, he's very explosive, very, very athletic. He's listed at 6'5", 205, so that is not a small human being, and for a freshman especially. And so he definitely can shoot it. But he can drive it to either hand. He's a very good finisher, and then as you would expect, he's really good in the open floor, in transition. So he just has a great burst to him, and if you're out of position, he just makes you pay. So whether it's transition, whether it's coming off a ball screen, or just in an ISO situation, and then even a little bit on the offensive glass, you got to be sound defensively and square up the ball and just do your best to get them under control. And that's been a tall task, 2 of the last 3 games for their opponents.
Your game against them, as I recall, you were down 8. And I think that's about when Nemi came in the second half, and he made his free throws and kind of defended the rim, and you kind of got going again a little bit in that game. And you made free throws and didn't turn it over against them. I think you only had 10 in that game.
That's exactly how it was. It was an ugly game both ways. Like, they couldn't make a shot, we couldn't make a shot. I think we started out the game 1 for 16 from the 3. You're right, though. We were down 8, and Nemi went in there, and he got fouled a couple times. I think he went 4 for 4, then missed the front end, and I think he made 2 more after that. And then he was able to alter some things around the rim. So obviously we're a way different team, but that's not an easy place to play in Fresno. And obviously with a young team, younger teams are always going to play. Typically going to always play a lot better at home. So, but that was a big stretch of the game. But it was one of those certainly kind of ugly games where we couldn't make shots, and we had open shots, and they couldn't make shots, and they had quite a few open shots as well. And so I expect things to be maybe a little bit more fluid for both teams this time around.